Hello, folks. Welcome back to World War II TV and an impromptu thought from Woody. And as always, these shows like this are unscripted. I'm just airing the thoughts that are in my head. And so if you're new to the channel, I do these every now and then. It's just a way of kind of connecting with my community. And that is going to be the subject of what we're talking about. You, the viewers, the community. So the background of this is that I've had a few run-ins recently in the comments on various programs with viewers making comments about World War II TV, my guests, content, etc., etc. So the first thing I want to say is I'm going to be approaching 1,000 separate videos on this channel next spring. So we're at 800 and something rather right now. We're going to be hitting 1,000 soon, particularly because we've got the myths shows coming up where there'll be 3 per evening over not this week but next week. So my first comment is, if you're a regular viewer of World War II TV or a casual viewer, I want to make it clear that it's perfectly okay for you to occasionally not like a particular guest or find a particular guest style not to your tastes or not to the way you want to hear your history. And I wanted to say that's absolutely fine. You know what? We've had hundreds of different guests on here. They've come from 33 different countries, male, female, young, old, amateur historians, professional historians. Some of them have a particular way of speaking or a particular style. Some are very confident, some are less confident, some are loud and make jokes, some are sarcastic, some are not, some are very serious. The point is, it's about individual preference. You know, if I were to start talking about hello Matthew, yeah, if you complain about the host, people complain about me all the time, me wearing a hat indoors, all that kind of stuff. And Matt, we'll have to get you on the channel at some point to talk about typhoons or something else. And Matt Bone, by the way, in the comments, if you haven't yet checked out his Damcasters podcast, it's about aviation. It's a fantastic one. I'll try and think about putting the link in the description when I finish this. Yeah, David's complaining about the cap. So, you know, the point is, if a group of us, any one of you watching now, were to meet in a pub and we were to start discussing our favorite concerts, our favorite bands, our favorite movies, our favorite food, we'd all start disagreeing. There'd be things we would agree on, things we wouldn't agree on, etc., etc., etc. So the point is, and this is why I'm kind of going with this, is this particular person I had a run-in with, he was saying that AI is going to be coming in, artificial intelligence, and he was using Chat GPT to get some information about a particular battle because he disagreed with what the historian who came on my channel had said about a particular battle. And I'm like, and I responded, the minute people out there start using bots, and this guy corrected me in saying bots is very 2021 in terms of language, and apparently we're using something else now, but whatever. The minute we start using artificial intelligence to get our history, I might as well, you know, just give up what we're doing. I'm not saying that computers and technology aren't helpful in our lives. I mean, I have a smartphone like everybody else. I use technology to speak to you right now, but it's getting back to what this channel is about. And this channel is about connecting you lot, my community, with historians, some of whom you will agree with, some of whom you won't agree with, some of them you will prefer to other ones. That's the point. It's about interacting with real people. The other interaction I had with this particular chap is that, you know, we were talking about I've got to consider my channel as a brand, and there's other channels out there, and there's competition, and I've got to think about my consumers. And for me, the word consumer made me immediately think that I'm some kind of executive trying to sell washing detergent, and I'm trying to think about brand identity and converting, you know, housewives over to buying my brand of washing detergent instead of someone else's, or appealing to a particular. For goodness sake, that's not how World War II TV is ever going to be. World War II TV is a passion project, okay? It's a passion project that is moving increasingly towards making me my income, for which I'm very grateful to my patrons and my channel members and those of you who support me by sharing and liking what I do and commenting on what I do. And I completely want that interaction to continue, even if people disagree with me and disagree with what my historians say. But the thing is, you know, AI, what I was staggered by the fact that he was saying that people will be using AI for their history. You know, I don't want to live in that world if that's where we're getting our AI from. When you've got right now, I put this stream online 10 minutes ago, and some of you are already here. David O'Keefe, renowned Canadian historian, written about Dieppe, written about the Black Watch. When he comes on my channel, you, the viewers, community, friends, whatever I would like to call you, you can interact with someone like David O'Keefe, Harry Cooper last night. So Harry Brown, that's a Michael Caine movie. Harry Cooper last night talking about the U-boat skippers he met over the course of the years. I don't ever want to think about you guys as consumers, that you're looking for different brands and you're looking for a 10% off coupon with your next purchase, and that, you know, I'm going to give you a loyalty card so you get a 5% discount. We're a community here that if at the beginning of this, when I started this, and it was, as you know, it was a COVID project, I had nothing else to do, I started doing this, right? I had no idea that the biggest thing that would come out of it was the community. And my community here, our community, it's not my community, it's your community, is not as big as perhaps the We Have Ways community, the independent company, but I think mine is perhaps more global. I think we have audience members across the world. I had a nice message from someone in Colombo the other day, and saying how he appreciated my channel. We have viewers in, you know, Thailand and India and Australia and New Zealand, etc., etc., etc. And, you know, as Darren Little said there, we're kind of a family. And if there are people out there who are watching me but are watching other YouTube channels to kind of think about which brand they want to go to, and that the other one is offering them an incentive of something else, and I don't know that that's the kind of people I want here. I want people who are here because they appreciate what we're doing. They appreciate the uniqueness of what we're doing. And podcasts are fantastic. I mentioned Matt Bones' podcast there, and History Hack is a fantastic podcast, and you know, so they're fantastic. The thing that's unique about World War II TV is that if you catch a live stream, you can interact with the guest. Okay, I can't put every question that comes into my guest now. We're getting bigger and bigger all the time, which is fantastic. And I understand that time zones mean that a lot of people can't get my streams live. But those who are there live, and I'm going to try as we move into 2024 to do more at different times of day to catch different audiences. I might even do a week where I kind of do a night shift and I get up and do shows at like 2 a.m. for me, 3 a.m. for me, but there'll be like evening time in the USA to try and bring in an American audience. That's something I'm working on to try and bring things in. Hi, Dan, by the way. And Dan, another fantastic resource there. Dan does incredible work in archiving Bomber Command's history, and Dan will be back on the channel sometime in the future. So, yeah, this is about bringing people together. But as I said, when I started this, if I'd known that the community would grow to where it is now, I wouldn't have believed it. It's an amazing resource we have here. The history has almost come second or an equal first to the community that's been established. And when I go online before a show and you lot are already chatting to each other and saying hello to each other, and the fact that World War II TV viewers are meeting up socially, going from one country to another and meeting up with their fellow World War II TV sidebar warriors, that to me is absolutely fantastic. So I do run this as a business in that I pay my taxes. This is part of the business I established in France a number of years ago. And, you know, my income from this goes into my, you know, bank and pay taxes and TV out, which is the French version of VAT or value added tax. That's all normal. But I don't see it as a business. And the minute I start trying to go out there and try and hit viewer targets and try and think about the cheating or beating the algorithm and doing this, that, and the other. Okay, I completely admit that a set of myth shows that are going to be starting next week, which are going to be much shorter, 20 minutes in length. And I'll be doing 3 a day. In fact, one day I'm doing 5 because I'm doing 2 in the morning this time of day for Australian guests, Robin Pryor and Peter Williams, and then 3 in the evening from other country-based guests. They are deliberately aimed at bringing in people from outside of World War II TV to draw them into what we're doing here, to maybe have them stick around for our longer format shows. So those shows are unashamedly short, 20 minutes. Although 20 minutes, to be fair, is long by some standards and metrics on YouTube. YouTube favors the 5-10 minute, get it all in. So 20 minutes is still, believe it or not, considered as a long format by YouTube. But what we're normally doing, which is an hour to hour and a half, is considered by YouTube, suicidal, in the sense that no one watches stuff of an hour and a half. It is against everything YouTube suggests in terms of having a successful channel. But I will continue doing it that way because that's exactly how I want to do it. That's exactly what I want to do. I don't want to bring people on of the caliber of David O'Keefe or Robin Pryor, Peter Williams, who wrote about Kokoda, or as the other guests I'm having on next week, and just have them come in for 5 minutes and then they go off and do something else. This isn't a radio call-in show where it's just moving from the news to the weather to something else. This is proper history. This is interaction with people who convey history. And when this chap I had this interaction with, suggested that everybody would be using AI, and I've used it on my phone. When I got a new phone last week, and I got one of those things, and I just asked it. I think I asked it to compose a poem about the Royal Ulster Rifles on Sword Beach, and it was actually quite good, this poem. But that's it. I'm using it for kind of frivolous, not serious reasons. The minute I want to start using artificial intelligence to ask a question about Ultra in World War II, or submarine doctrine, or amphibious warfare tactics, then I'm going to give up. When you've got actual historians out there who've dedicated their lives to studying subjects, why on earth would I use an AI bot? And it is a bot for that information. Absolutely crazy. So, that's why I wanted to come on here. I don't think of you guys as consumers. I think of you as part of a wider community / family who together we are on a journey to understand World War II better. Together we're trying to right our wrongs in terms of our misunderstandings of this conflict. We're to go into a deeper knowledge, to question what we thought we knew, to bring people on to air the new thinking about subjects, the new research, to highlight the younger people coming into this industry, this profession. And even the word industry I don't really like. I mean, I guess people who write military books, it is an industry in that sense, but it's got to be surely it's a vocation. People don't go into writing military history simply to make money, because you don't, unless you're in that very, very top tier and you're working really hard, not only at the writing, but also the promotion and the circuits and doing the podcasts and the channels and the book shows. That's, you're not making money at it. And I, as I said, I want World War II TV to pay my way of living, but I don't want it to be where I think of it as a business and think about hitting particular targets. And no, it's a community. We're here to share our love of World War II, our love of understanding history in the past. So there we are. I'm going to leave it at that. I've since, don't go looking for the comments and exchanges I had with this chap. I've since deleted them because it wasn't going anywhere. And the chap, he was being polite with his comments, and I think he was genuinely well intended. But as I tried to explain to him, he'd missed the point. I don't see this as a business. I don't want to have board meetings with graphs showing projections, and if we can just do this by tipping this here, and if we can look at this market and this demographic, and that's not however I want to consider World War II TV. This is not why I got into sharing history in the first place. This is not why I'm talking to you right now. Yes, earning a living out of something you enjoy is really cool, and I encourage more people to become patrons and to support the channel, but I'm not going to ever plan my schedule, plan my World War II TV output based on any kind of consumer-based understanding of the market, the metric, the whatever. It's that's not why I'm doing this. I wanted to make it clear. So there we are. You're right. Historical fiction is a moneymaker right now, and I have some real issues with historical fiction. A couple of my favorite books I've ever written have been historical fiction. Read have been historical fiction, and I do think it's a way of bringing people to a subject. But I think it can also be a lazy way, rather than actually studying a real aspect of World War II. You can kind of base a novel in an area of World War II or other periods of history and kind of just use it for your own, make up your own story, make up your own outcome, and not have to worry about factual accuracy. But yeah, I do understand that it's very important. Anyway, I'm going to keep on going now. Thank you, Dan, for saying keep doing what you're doing. I will keep on doing what I'm doing, and I will never change my vision from what this is all about. It's about history. It's about community. And I just want to reiterate, I do not think of you as consumers. I think of you as a community, a wider community of friends and colleagues who are on a journey together. So that's it. I'm going to leave it to you now. I'm going to see you all later today. Ian Ballantyne is coming on to talk about British submarine operations towards the latter part of the war. Not just submarines. In fact, we're going to look at the wider campaign against the Japanese in the kind of the winding down period, the pre-atomic bomb period, particularly. And Ian Ballantyne is the author of Deadly Trade. Possibly Matt Bone, I think, will be in agreement here. One of the best books ever written about submarine warfare. So there we are. I'm going to leave it to you there. This is Paul Woodadge for World War II TV, airing my thought of the day. I'm still smiling, so it can't be too bad. See you all later on. Cheers. Thanks for listening. Bye.